channels, and we're just gonna wait for that data. If YouTube decides that we're streaming live, guys, welcome back to Box Mining. This is our usual stream, and we're going to be talking about cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin today. A lot's going to be focused on Bitcoin because a lot's happening there. We're approaching the Bitcoin halving in one day, so we're so close to the event where the number of Bitcoins being mined, the new production of Bitcoin, that's going to have. And well, that's going to have an enormous consequence long term. But short term, there's a lot of hype going on. And that's what the title of today's video is really about, which is the post Bitcoin halving dump incoming? All right, that's a really bad title, but the reason for that is because in crypto, a lot of times we love the hype train. Bitcoin halving incoming, jump on the train, choo choo, guys, feel that wind on your face. We're approaching that deadline, and then once we arrive at the station, we're like, all right, what next? Cool story, bro. So that's kind of the situation what we're facing now, because we're so close to arriving at that station. The hype train is going to end. Is that going to create a situation where more Bitcoin dump is incoming? Yesterday, we definitely saw movement, to say the least. So you can see the 24-hour change isn't a lot, but yesterday throughout the day, it was fluctuating quite a bit. The market was kind of being indecisive about whether it wants to be bullish or bearish preceding this event. So obviously we saw the dump yesterday. A lot of people were caught off guard, surprised that there was a dump dropping from 9,600 all the way to 8,600. And at certain points it dipped below 8K. And during yesterday's video, I was talking a lot about the volatility yesterday, because what was happening was exactly kind of what I described, where there's sudden movements down and then up. So what makes that scary is that can liquidate a lot of positions. Because if you're leveraged position, you think, okay, Bitcoin's going to go up after the halving, and then you leverage a long, over leverage long, then yeah, going down to 8K might destroy that. And then jumping back up again, that's the worst part. It's like these flash movements in crypto, which is quite common right now because of kind of the situation, the tension, the hype that's going on. You see these giant candles that could kind of destroy leverage positions, and I'll just zoom in here for a closer look as well. So this is what we're reaching right now, but obviously the question to be, so you can see that we're staying in the same position. We're at the exact same price as the video yesterday, but a lot definitely happened last night. So these could have destroyed long positions if you're hoping for more hype, and then maybe we'll see even spikes upwards, and then that would destroy short positions. So here, being a leverage trader, you got to be very smart to play it. You got to be kind of anticipating that volatility, which is why I was looking more at volatility indexes rather than at directly trading. Yesterday we were talking almost about the obvious idea of it could go up or it could go down. I mean, at this point, there's I would definitely say the fear of going down is in everyone's minds right now, because of the fact that the train is arriving at the station. Once we hit that target, there could be a minor correction. We've seen that with other coins. So last year we talked about Litecoin. Litecoin had its happening. It precedes Bitcoin a little bit. Last year we saw the dump on Litecoin just on the day, the hour of the halving hits. Boom, it hit, train entered the station, and then we saw that minor dump coming. And then this is also similar in Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin SV as well. Both of them preceded the Bitcoin halving event, and that's why there's definitely a fear that once the halving hits, all right, we might experience a little dump. So I'm being prepared for that. It might happen, but in the long term, what happens once the train arrives at the station is very interesting as well, because afterwards, we can see CoinMarketCap trying to explain to us as much as possible, Cointelegraph rather. I was like reading Cointelegraph today. I'm like, these guys are trying their hardest to keep the hype up. It's kind of funny that way, but you can kind of see that in news media. They're always trying to garner attention, but they're talking about how Bitcoin miners, their sell-off is around 3 months after what they mined. So very likely 3 or 4 months after, the amount that they have mined, that's going to decrease by half. That's the halving event. It's going to cut miners' income by half. So we're going to feel the effects of that maybe 3-4 months later. So that's kind of the interesting part. That's where the dump pressure really does kind of peter out, have that pressure, which is the most important part. So, anyways, long story short, it might take quite a long while for the full effects of the halving to be felt. Right now, because everyone's talking about the event, it becomes kind of like a hype train, and this is why we're entering that volatile state. As the train enters the station, people are unsure if currently Bitcoin is overvalued or undervalued. And there's a big fear right now that there might be an impending crash or an impending at least a little bit of a dump just once the train enters the station and the hype train ends. All right. So that's kind of the current state case. I'll be very careful as well reading the news on Cointelegraph. I do see them trying to play this card overly hard about they're overselling the hype still, which is I'll be a little bit careful with this news media right now. I think Cointelegraph is very optimized for news delivery, for getting those clicks, so more clickbaity titles, and that's where the content is geared towards being more hype than not at this current point. But in this channel, we're not selling hopium here. We don't need hopium. We're good traders. We're good hodlers. We're good. We're good without that hope. I think it's unnecessary. Looking at this as well, I think there's one fact that they did point out, which is quite interesting, but kind of a given. So I'll talk about two bits of news that's really hitting the cryptocurrency spaces. One is that search traffic trending for Bitcoin halving is 300% higher than 2016. I was getting a little bit of trends. Cointelegraph also covered it as here as well. They're saying, yep, having hype drives strong strength. We got this talk about Bitcoin trends. So this is the search for Bitcoin halving. All right. So if you actually look at this in terms of data, you can see there's a little blimp here on the blue line. All right. So the blue line, the little blimp on the blue line, that is a search for Bitcoin halving. And yes, it did go up. It's more clear if you put it at the past 7 days. So that's like really, really pushing up a little bit here. But relative to Bitcoin itself, it's still not that high. And relative to the peak, the very peak of Bitcoin volume, it's not that high either. So we're not getting the most search traffic ever. If you really want to look at it, that's 2018, 2017, end of 2017, early 2018. So that was when the highest, the peak. So I would say, sure, take a look at that data, but that data is like relative to what's happening right now, that little blimp, the little increase on search, the 300% increase on the search for Bitcoin halving, that's the way they phrased it, is still a little blimp compared to Bitcoin interest in the past. I think definitely we should have more interest versus 2016. I think 2016, no one knew about Bitcoin. Now everyone knows about Bitcoin. I mean, that's the beauty of being in 2020. Like that's just the way it is. Like we talked about people in Korea, news channels don't even have to tell people what Bitcoin is anymore. That's the beauty of it. So I think it's a lot more mainstream already, and that's why the search traffic is up. But in terms of like overall massive hype, are we beating 2017 levels? Not just yet, which is just something you have to be careful of when analyzing information and hype articles such as this. So I'm not trying to contain the hype. I'm just saying, look, I'm fed up with reading hopium articles. That's really what I'm saying, honestly. We're building up towards a lot of greatness for Bitcoin. That's amazing. And I feel like I don't need to overhype Bitcoin at a certain point. We know what it is, and there's some true values, like the fact that it is a store of value that the government cannot touch. Important for a lot of people out there, especially the 1%, the ones with all the money. They need this. Second of all, transfer of value. That's unstoppable transfer of value. And with the tensions right now happening, with global tensions at an all-time high, Bitcoin is more valuable than ever, especially considering that there could be potentially more restrictions on currency in the future. Because of that trade war tension between US and China, China's going to arm up, That's what it's going to do. It's going to arm up its currency. We've already seen movements, China trying to digitalize it, but at the same time being more controlling of its digital currency. It's kind of something interesting. I never really thought about this, but we talked about China building up a currency called DCEP, so a national digital currency. It's based on cryptography. So, yep, they're transitioning their entire currency from paper money to digital money. And not just like digital money in the sense of technological digital money like Alipay, Apple Pay, your your Android Pay. It's all those payment systems are all based on the traditional system. But here, what they're issuing is their own national digital currency, DCEP. I highly recommend that you check this out because this has huge implications. It's not just on a crypto level. It's on a national level that China is doing this. I don't want to overstress how important this is. It's making kind of headlines. A lot of people are seeing it, but they don't understand the implications of it. But something that's built into this is also a tracking system. And this is going to be also quite scary because if the government, one of the signers of this currency is the central PBOC, the People's Bank of China, they have to sign transactions. They have a lot more power now than before. It's like if Bitcoin transactions needed to be signed for an intermediary or a central bank that has all the power, that's how messed up it is. So it's like it's taking some concepts. So the whole currency takes some concepts of Bitcoin, but it removes the decentralization, makes it worse. And I see that Bitcoin is going to have a key pivotal role because people will still want to have that decentralization in place. They want to be separate from the government because they don't want to be always involved in politics. That's the worst part of it. So I made a full article on that. Definitely check it out. It's very, very different. So DCEP, it's government centralized, unlimited supply, backing value is the renminbi. So it does have the central currency backing it. But Bitcoin is different. Bitcoin is the creator, Satoshi. We don't know who he is. Decentralized, 21 million max supply, backed by energy. Kind of interesting. But anyways, so what I see here is that Bitcoin's gonna have a key role. So as these developments are validating the technology behind Bitcoin, and basically all this cryptography that we've been talking about, UTXO model, it's kind of borrowing it. Bitcoin was the leader, people borrowed from it, and now Bitcoin is shining as well. So I feel like long term, super, super bullish. Short term, I don't really care where the hype train goes right now. Pretty much at a defensive position where I'm actually kind of hedging my bets on volatility indices. So if it's volatile, sure, great, thanks. Thanks for the free money. If not, I still have my HODL there. That's kind of the way I'm going forward for this. So I'm not actually feeling that much. Obviously, of course, emotionally, looking at the price fluctuate still sucks. All right. Sometimes if it dips below 8K, you're like, oh my God, it's below 8K. That's kind of the mentality we're in. We're human, right? Logically, I understand that long term, I have my goals and objective. Short term, yeah, it still sucks to look at numbers once in a while, and this is why sometimes I look a little bit more stressed out or more tired probably than I should be, anyways. So, okay, that's my take on crypto. A lot of people asked also the question when everything dumped, so you can see very clearly on CoinGecko, you can see this big red big red line going down, every currency going down around the same amount. A lot of people are asking why this is. I mean, technically, Bitcoin shouldn't have any relation to Ethereum. They're very different in terms of value, especially Bitcoin in relation to Binance coin. I mean, Binance is an exchange utility coin. It shouldn't have any correlation, but there is almost like a 0.999 correlation between price of Bitcoin and of altcoins. And the reason being is because a lot of traders still think in that Bitcoin altcoin pair. So they think in Satoshi prices. Oh, this coin is 300 sats or 80 sats or 1,600 sats. So they think in terms of the Bitcoin pricing. And that's why when Bitcoin drops, the Satoshi price remains the same, but in relative to US dollar, it just plummets. So that's kind of how and why we see that those fluctuations coming in exactly like in parallel, why we have that strong correlation there. So yeah, the halving arriving, it does dampen some of the spirits on the altcoins as well. They were trying to take the kind of the train up, but now once the train's arriving at the station, there's an uncertainty as to whether the hype can continue. So it won't be as much hype for a while, but that's just the way it is. And then we got a comment from Yabadu Lively says they're all shitcoins. I love to affectionately call them shitcoins too. It's my thing. It's fun. Yeah, just no. He's like, no need to call them altcoins. They're all shit coins. Hilarious, hilarious comment. Well, we all have our stances here. I don't think they're all shit coins. I don't think they're all bad, but I love to affectionately call them that because it makes people, it riles people up so much. I don't know. I'm just an asshat. All right, guys. So that's kind of the take on the cryptocurrency market. We're entering that phase of uncertainty, but also I do see a lot of opportunity ahead. That's my current take. So I'm aware that there might be a dumpening, happening, dumping. Okay, bad pun. Okay, but I'm aware of that, and then I'm aware of cognitive bias, where you do want to see all the hype news. So obviously, you gotta be very careful when reading Cointelegraph. But at the same time, I'm very, very hyped up for what's gonna come in 6 to 24 months. That's when I really think things are gonna heat up, and this is why we're really moving forward. Like I'm trying to get as involved as possible in the whole cryptocurrency space before that time comes. Because once that time comes, we're gonna go into a major kind of unstoppableness for Bitcoin, and that's going to be super exciting. So in terms of events as well, I've set up an event up for the Bitcoin Halving Party. So I got this one here. So guys, tomorrow at 8 p.m. Hong Kong time, so it'll be in 32 hours. What we're gonna do is we're gonna head down to Genesis Block, the Bitcoin Center in Hong Kong. They're doing a full-on, like a real-life party. Hong Kong has exited the coronavirus lockdown, so I'm super happy for that. Like, but anyway, so the center there, they're hosting a party, pizza, beer, whatever. That's gonna go on. We're also gonna see a lot of people that's involved in crypto in Hong Kong as well. So, Hong Kong is a big hub for a lot of exchanges, for a lot of OTCs, for a lot of traders. Everyone's gonna be involved. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna just bring the camera down. We're gonna try to set up a live event, and that's gonna be it. So in 32 hours, that's gonna be the Halving live event tomorrow. So hopefully it'll be fun. Shazam's party with masks. I really, hopefully not. Hopefully not. We'll be eating. We'll be eating, so we don't need to wear masks. We'll see. I hate wearing masks, and especially, well, I think it's necessary. Like once you finish eating, you should wear your mask again. So, yeah, sucks. Sucks. Anyways, that's almost it for crypto. I do want to say yesterday Coinbase did fail us catastrophically. There were so many people talking about Coinbase going down for an hour. That really sucks. It seems to be every time now, and it comes to a point where we really have to migrate exchanges. So if you guys are still stuck on Coinbase being your only exchange, explore other options. I mean, yeah, the referral codes down below. There's Binance. Or if you're more interested, if you're a professional trader, FTX is a great option. They're based in Hong Kong. We're probably getting an interview or some of them people seeing tomorrow. But like, yeah, don't rely on Coinbase as your only one source of cryptocurrency exchanges. And worst part is if you're in the US, they actually report what you're doing to the US government too. Like that's never a good thing. Like just like especially like yeah, it's not smart. Not smart. Be smart, guys. Be smart. We got Bob Blair. Thank you so much for your $2 donation. Hey, Box, thank you for doing these valuable streams. Thank you for watching. And thank you guys for all smashing those likes. That's apparently really important for YouTube. So, yeah. But anyways, guys, definitely do not rely on Coinbase being your only exchange. That's never smart. And also, don't leave any crypto on exchanges unless you have to. That's like two really important bits of strategy, just common sense. I've been burnt in the past. I was talking in last stream where I lost money in the biggest exchange at that time. It was literally bigger than Coinbase. It was called Mt. Gox, and we lost all our money there because the founder decided, you know what? That looks really delicious. Let me take all that money. Or maybe, who knows? Modern Picasso says, I have a Binance and FTX account. I haven't really touched the FTX account. If it's a proven safe exchange, I can move all my stuff from Binance to FTX. LOL. So, I never recommend having a huge trading account. Like, I usually take my coins off exchanges when necessary because I've been burnt in the past. I do know that like some people have a tendency of doing this, like they're just kind of like, oh, why not having access to it. But I do say right now, if you want to transfer even tokens, even ERs, even like ERC20 tokens like USDT or PAX or USDC, it doesn't take too long. So, just take that into consideration. FTX, the guys, yeah, they're in Hong Kong. So they're like, one of my friends is a really big FTX fan. And that's how this whole thing came along. He supported them throughout everything. So he really believes that they're reliable, and I do think that they have some of the better systems out there, especially when it comes to protection and insurance. And in terms of the assets they have, it's just like insane. Like the amount of tools they have is crazy. I was talking about the volatility indexes, and they have all this insanity. Like, I've been exploring Bitcoin Move a lot recently. So, yesterday I did get in a little bit on Move, at around 376 mark, just to see if Bitcoin's gonna move today. So the idea behind the Bitcoin Move contract is that if Bitcoin goes up or down, you win. So if it goes to 10K, congrats. I get it's gonna be worth 1,000. If it goes down to 7K, sure, it's gonna be worth 1,000 too. But if it stays the same, it's gonna be worth zero. So that's kind of how it works. It's a volatility index traveler. I'm a tracker. I'm looking a lot more into it because it does protect my current position. So like, because I have a hodl amount, if I buy move contracts at times where I predict there's going to be a lot of volatility, that does help me. So that's what I'm looking at right now. But I wouldn't say like, I would never put my hodl amount on any single exchange. That's just common sense. So what I do is I just take a certain amount, the trading amount, and then leave it there. That's probably the safest option. And right now, we're talking about wallets, etc. Um, you can use your mobile phone. It's still safer than exchange. It's kind of ironic, but because you have self custody over it, you're protected from hackers that hack the exchange. They're the biggest targets. So yeah, your phone, good choice. If you need more security, hardware wallets are definitely the way to go. Be it a Ledger, Trezor, I don't care. Just buy one of them. As long as they have a reputable brand and name behind it. I see a lot of like new hardware companies producing weird fake ledgers and stuff. That's so weird. Or I don't know, like fake Trezors, and it's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. Like, do not buy those, even though they're cheaper. Do not touch those. That's just asking for it. Like, really. Anyways, we're gonna shift gears for a sec. We're just gonna talk a little bit about coronavirus. We've been following this for a while. I just want to point out the stuff that's different. To be honest, with coronavirus, it's like we're reaching the stage of fatigue right now. Everyone's like, we've seen all we can do. News media, they're trying as hard as they can to convince us that there's new news coming out for coronavirus. But honestly, the virus, in terms of what it does and how it affects people, it's pretty much stagnant. I mean, it's the same virus that's been around since Jan. So, in terms of the information that we know, we're kind of reaching the point of saturation, and that the stuff that we do want to know is still only coming out. Like, for example, how much immunity do we get? Can we ever reach herd immunity, etc.? This is still ongoing. But anyways, in terms of stuff that did catch my eye today, so two things. So China reports 19 more coronaviruses in Wuhan, which is interesting because previously last week they were reporting no infections at all, and now they're saying, oh, there's 17. There's a cluster in Wuhan. So obviously it wasn't wiped out, and obviously they're kind of potential for more. And the fact that there's 17 suggests that there's a lot more to me. I mean, we've been analyzing this from China for a while, and we do know that the numbers are underreported, and that's really saying something. So just be a little bit cautious that it can persist around and that it becomes pretty nasty. And something I've also seen recently and reports about is that when China comes to reporting this, what happens is that locally they might inform residents, yo, we got infections in this area, but they don't add it to the national tally either. So it's interesting because they want to protect citizens. They want to say, yo, guys, be on alert. You guys, we have coronavirus in this area, but they don't want to add to the national count because that makes people feel unsafe. I mean, after all, China's trying to reopen up. So anyways, that's kind of what's happening in China. It's just nasty, guys. It's just nasty. But I just want to tell you guys what's kind of happening, and very likely that it's really hard to eliminate in China, despite reports that they said they pretty much eliminated it. All right, we got Emily Winkler says people are fed up with the shutdown here in the U.S. Absolutely, I mean, like 4 weeks of that, you're gonna go insane. So I think the stance in the US is they're just gonna open up regardless of what. And I think it just unfortunately, yeah, it just has to be done. I mean, sucks. Sucks. Yeah, I mean, more negative news about unemployment crises is pretty much common everyday news at this point. Just gonna click the cross. Yeah, nothing too much new. I'm pretty sick and tired of hearing the doom and gloom predictions. I mean, at the end of the day, there's gonna be a lot. I mean, everyone that's investing or anyone who has savings and talking about investing, yep, they're all worried about the economy. The printer is going brrr, printing out more money. China might be doing a digital version of printing. With DCEP coming along, they can just press a button, instead of the blur sound. And I don't know, make some digital noise, and then boom, you got magical DCEP appearing in people's wallets. Maybe that's gonna be the future of money printing. But anyways, that is what's gonna happen, and we're looking for opportunities, which is what's setting Bitcoin up in a great position. We got the halving, now we got the setup, we got distrust in governments. Like all of this is setting up for Bitcoin becoming more and more prevalent. People who lose faith in their currencies are going to jump to what? A decentralized currency. So I think overall, this is a very interesting time, and I think there's a lot more urgency now than before. Before, I think with Bitcoin, there wasn't much urgency to say, look, I want to buy now. Right now, everyone's just waiting for it to go down in price to buy. But with the world governments at this current point, and with that decoupling we've been seeing as well between Bitcoin and the market, we we were pretty coupled when we crashed, but now we're kind of recovering. We're kind of on a different time scale, and I think that's a very interesting idea. So gold, Bitcoin, hard assets. If you've been reading the Bitcoin standard, there's a difference between soft and hard standards. Soft is where you can just print paper money out of nowhere, but Bitcoin, there's only 21 million in existence. Halving is pretty much explaining that the amount of Bitcoin being mined is going to keep getting halved every 3-4 years or so, depending on how the blocks go. So, ta-da. Kaidos is all these pieces are in place for crypto to moon, but crypto not mooning. The issue here is, of course, the interest is not up. I mean, I think that's why we can't really surpass the 1600 levels. 1600. Yeah, no, 16,000. Yeah, that's right. 16,000. I want those numbers. But anyways, 16,000 was at our peak. That was when Bitcoin was going absolutely crazy. And I think if you remember those times, if you saw the conference videos to those times, if you saw what was going on, yep. I helpfully put this up here. So just taking a look, 2016 was when the last halving happened, and we can see that it took about a year before we rallied up to this like crazy high of, you know, it hit 60. Well, actually, it hit 21,000. Holy crap! I forgot about that. I was mostly stuck up here. So yeah, it hit 21,000. It's hard to get there until we have that amount of hype again. I mean, that hype was just insane. If you guys remember that, I mean, every exchange was like filled. Binance wasn't even taking new applicants. It was like you could have like people were selling Binance accounts for $1,000 at that point. It was just insanity, and that was so wrong. Like you could have got your money stolen. But anyways, people still did it. All that risky stuff. Yeah. So we still don't have those levels yet. It's brewing. I think right now we're still kind of looking at runes from 2017 when a lot of things went up too crazy and collapsed. There was a lot of testing people's limits. Some limits were tested and they failed, and then obviously we're still at this point. So I think I'm patient. I don't think I'm like, you know, I'm not dying to do it, but I do want to kind of build up beforehand. I think that's more key now that we really want to build up and make sure that for the next bull run, we're ready. That's my 2 cents. It's Gemini Good Exchange. It's not bad. I think it's regulated in the US. This is from Leonardo Nelson Sr. I think, yeah, they're one of the regulated ones. I think the volume wasn't that good. That's why I didn't get so much attention. but I think Gemini is one of the regulated ones. So I have to check that up. I don't personally use Gemini just because like I don't reside in the States, so it's less kind of applicable for me. Let's see. Shazam says, "Oh, COVID is always there to ready to explode. Yeah, wear masks." I say I'm tired of wearing masks. That's how I feel, but I do recognize the importance. And I think that's just the respect. You got to respect those masks. It's all about respect, guys. The moment you don't respect masks is the moment you fail. I mean, in Hong Kong right now, pretty much 99, like the 99%, everyone's wearing a mask. If you go out and you don't wear a mask, like people will look at you funny, and it's just relatively bad. In fact, most stores right now, if you don't wear a mask, they won't let you in. So Enigma SVSN says thoughts on the stocks market. I think the stock market is in a major bubble. I'm not gonna lie here, guys. I mean, earnings weren't bad, but I mean, this hype is kind of led by a few good earning reports that showed that the situation ain't as bad as we thought it was. But the situation is that because a lot of people are unemployed, the cancerous growth of you know unemployment versus reduced spending, it's gonna cascade on. I mean, we just had a welfare checks. We just had free money from the government. The government literally in China, they're doing buybacks too. Like they're just propping up the market right now. Like the moment they finish propping that up, that's gonna be bad. So it's like we're printing more money to prop it up. So we're just generating fake wealth here. I don't see much good in the stock market right now, to be honest. I haven't touched it. Like I don't want to touch it. Like I don't see any need. Like yeah, pretty much. MTS, thank you so much for your 199 donation. Thoughts on Litecoin? I mean, it's cool. I like Charlie, but at the same time, it's like it's a predictor for Bitcoin, right? The new angle of Litecoin now. It's like it's so similar to Bitcoin. It's like a predictor. It's a big Bitcoin. Yeah, I was gonna say testnet. It's gonna offend a lot of people. So, anyways, I kind of refrain from saying that. It's a predictor. It's a prenet, and who knows? It might be interesting. There's a lot in the air. I mean, I went through phases. We've experimented with the Lightning Network, and it works amazing, but it hasn't caught on traction yet. So I'm realizing that Bitcoin might need some form of smaller currency. But at the same time, Bitcoin is pretty core in that area. Like Bitcoin represents a lot of core. The alts, I think, we'll spend some time looking at it all. Um, you know, my 2 cents. Patricia Bonifant says, heard today over 100 companies from China listed on Wall Street. Who, what, when, where, why greed destroys. Kind of funny. Funny mentioned that. I mean, we recently watched the China Hustle on Netflix, and that exposed a lot of what's going on. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of American investors who see China as an opportunity to grow. So there's a lot of kind of hype on Chinese stocks, especially 2 to 3 years ago, and there were certain companies that really played that really, really well. So, anyways, fun times, and if it's just. I think the biggest issue here is always about awareness. I think a lot of investors, they're not aware. They kind of read something and believe in it, especially like with my parents' generation. So um there's something about that generation where they tend to read news and they just tend to say, okay, this is fact, this is believable, like that. um and this has been played so well by modern media. Modern media has degraded a lot. Mainstream media we've seen is just the quality of it has gone straight down. You're not getting information, you're getting junk. And it's like right now, this in this age, it's about information sorting. So anyways, that's how it goes, pretty much the way everything is working. So anyways, you got to be very, very careful about just reading fake news. It's everywhere, and there's more and more junk on that. So anyways, my 2 cents. Angela Wan says, "Oh my God, box mining describing parents to a freaking T. Jesus, Jesus." We got JustVid says, "I'm keeping cash under my mattress." Smart thing, smart thing, smart thing to do. We got Leonardo Nielsen Senior says, "Do you have a crypto beginner course?" Yes, absolutely. So we started Bigacademy. So bigacademy.org. Here we go. So bigacademy.org, we started that recently. It's with Jeff Kerdakis and I. So we're going here. Right now, the getting started course is the really beginner one. So like this is the one where like if you want to get like 100% into crypto within an hour, that's the one you want to go for. So anyway, so the Academy course, that's for free. So right now, if you use the code BOXCODE, register for that, you get that started, and we're going to build up more material for that soon. Let's see. What are your thoughts on the pandemic video? I'm not sure. I haven't watched it. What is pandemic? Oh no. I don't know, guys. I don't know. Like honestly, the virus has divided a lot of people. Some people think it's a plan or something like that. Some people think it's caused by 5G. You know what? At this point, I think everyone's divided their lines. My stance, look, viruses happen. That's just the way it is. For all of humanity, even before genetic engineering, we got the bubonic plague, the Spanish influenza. Yeah. It's been around quite a bit. So honestly, the fact that it's a plan and Bill Gates is gonna microchip us, I've seen that around. Why would Bill Gates need to microchip us? We got a phone. It has everything. It tracks our location. It tells us what website, like it tells Apple or Google or whatnot, what websites we visit. It could potentially record our conversations and send it back. What would a microchip do beyond that? I'm just like, and the fact is that we're taking care of our phones too. You gotta have this battery. Modern technology is not that developed. Like, why would we need to be microchipped? Anyways, just a lot of weird stuff going on. Logically speaking, it could. All right, this virus could come from a lab. It could have been a cross contamination of some sort. But it seems like the research articles that we've seen, at the very least, the virus came from a natural backbone. So it's like it's something that hasn't been seen before in nature. So yeah, that's just the 2 cents. That's my 2 cents here. So um, people are very divided right now. That's why I say people will think one way or the other. It kind of I do not want to go down that rabbit hole anymore. So anyways, so weird. When does Bitcoin have at this point? The halving is happening. Bitcoin block half. 16 hours, guys. 16 hours. So yeah, so that's why the Bitcoin halving event is tomorrow. We have the event going on. We're gonna be at the Genesis block. We're gonna see real people. We're gonna try to see what's happening. We're gonna celebrate tomorrow, so it's gonna be fun. Arslan says, "Are you still bullish on VET?" Yeah, that's what I just reading Andy one as well. You heard rumors that Bill Gates wants to chip everyone for vaccine. Exactly. That was one of the rumors, and this is why I'm just like it doesn't make any sense. But going back to Arslan's question, are you still bullish on VeChain VET? So I think in terms of enterprise adoption, I'm definitely very excited to see what we can do with it. We definitely see that the kind of precursors to that. So we have the Bitcoin kind of was not Bitcoin, the blockchain service network. So China developing blockchain service network, and then of course um, we have more enterprise like the Australian partnership with VET. So with these two things coming along, I definitely see a lot going on. But at the same time, I do realize also that the enterprise applications will take a long time. That's something that I've realized over the years, that any sort of adoption, that's going to take a long time. So anyways, that's my 2 cents on it. So we're at 40 minutes mark. So I'm going to kind of conclude the stream here. I definitely appreciate all those likes. So if you guys want to click up those likes, slam those up, smash those up, that would be great. And we're going to set up 2 streams. So I'll send the links to the streams here. Let's see. Oops. Links to the streams here. Let's see. Yeah, I can hear myself here. So why do I hear myself? Let's see. Smash up all those likes. We have share, get shareable link. All right. So for the halving party, get shareable link for this. This will be tomorrow. Smash up the links for that. And then I'll set up the live stream also for Friday my time. So let's see. Friday, 11 a.m. Bitcoin. Bitcoin. All right, so I'm setting that up for Friday. So we got 2 events going on here. We got Doug in Orlando says he deserves all the likes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it, guys. Let's see how many likes we got so far. We have 109. That's great. Andy one says, I think these rumors made same people that created a 5G network rumor. I don't know, man. Like, okay, I'll say this. I mean, Theo Bear, so Arcane Bear, believed that 5G network will never be deployed. I think there was so much confusion in 5G networks, whether it's going to be launched, whether it's real, whether it's fake, whether it causes coronavirus. There's a lot of fear for like network raves for some reason. And I mean, I don't understand why, but regardless of the fact, 5G has launched in Hong Kong. It's already there. It's already in central Wan Chai major districts. It's already got 5G. You got 5G plans on sale now. It's quite expensive for around 50 or so odd dollars for a plan. So for 80 gig plan, it's already live for 5G phones. So I'll try to get one soon. But the good news is no coronavirus cases in Hong Kong. So it's already live. It's deployed. No cases here. Case closed. Peace. Anyways, that's Jesus. Guys, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope to dispel it. It really makes me pissed off every time there's too much rumors going on. We don't believe that in here, at least I don't. I just think that's just bogus, and I'm pretty right about that. So yeah, 5G plan. Lab, that's much harder. All right, so lab to disprove or prove or disprove it becomes much harder because from a lab, it could be from a natural bat in the lab that transfers from humans to people. So yeah, from the animal to the human. Or there was this other conspiracy that they didn't dispose of the bat bodies properly from the lab and it got sold in the market. That was the other rumor. So it's like that's becomes really hard to prove or disprove. I mean, concerning the proximity of everything, there's going to be suspicions when it arrives. So anyways, that's my 2 cents. Coca-Cola says, when 6G? OOLOL. Yeah, Anyways, you guys can check out the 5G. If you guys don't believe me, check out the 5G coverage in Hong Kong, and we'll try to find a 5G phone sometime. So, guys, thank you guys so much for coming today. Having party is tomorrow at 8, so in 32 hours. That's gonna be the case. Let me just see where the um, All right, having party is here, upcoming. Let me get the shareable link once more. So that'll be quite fun. Hopefully it'll be time. It'll be 8 p.m. my time. The reason why I'm posting these up is because yeah, because you have the time. So if you set the reminder and smash up the likes, we got 2 dislikes already. So people are so negative. So guys, if you're here on now, click on that link just below. Just smash up the likes. So just get rid of this negativity here. I have no idea why. It's like some people just hate me or something. Like 2 dislikes. Smash up those likes first, and also just it's gonna be a Genesis block. So if somebody wants like and it'll be there. It'll be live there. Okay, so last warning as well. I saw this Bitcoin giveaway thing that was really scary. It's not here, so Bitcoin giveaway. Just avoid these guys. Yeah, this guy. These scams are appearing all over the place. 57K people watching. Like, will believe that? Like 57 people watching this stupid giveaway. YouTube, man, come on. Come on, just get rid of these scammers already. Like, seriously. 57K people watching a scam giveaway, like stealing. This is rich dad, poor dad's face, and they're just stealing this guy's face and then spamming that. Scam, 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 scam. Anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Be careful of these scams. Come join us at the halving party tomorrow, and we'll post it up. So predictions Bitcoin. So Drino Man says YouTube going down for censorship. Yes, absolutely. It's just stupid. But there we go, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. And yeah, and thank you guys so much. People always jump to conclusions, even me sometimes. Take care. Thanks all. Take care. Thank you guys for all the likes.